If you guys watched yesterday's video, you know today is about to be a good one. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me,
BT Fan for Life.
Bringing us another video. In this video today, we are back again talking about
the Boss Toddler
movie universe. Yes, once again, this isn't necessarily
Boss Toddler movie 4
related, kind of. We will be discussing the movie, as what we're about to talk about has major implications for the film ahead. But this gives us massive insight on what could happen in future
Boss Toddler
movies. If you guys aren't aware, yesterday we talked about
Boss Toddler movie 5
and the possibility, not really possibility, the certainty at this point, of there being more
Boss Toddler
movies and TV shows in the future to further expand this universe, as it's basically been stated that they want to turn this
Boss Toddler
movie franchise into basically its own
Alka cinematic universe.
If you guys haven't watched that video, you should go watch it right now and, subscribe to the channel while you're at it. It's the best
Boss Toddler
channel on YouTube. And while that was great to talk about and was official news coming from the executive producer of the franchise himself, today we have something juicy because this isn't official. We got a leak, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys aren't aware, for the past few days, there's been a specific document that's been floating around the internet that has been kind of talked about, but hasn't been incredibly widespread, but I find incredibly interesting. Because this gives us massive insight on what could be in the future of
the Boss Toddler
movie franchise, what characters could pop up,
specifically the movie 4, 5, 6 trilogy plus TV shows.
So without any further ado, let's take a look at it. I discovered this from a tweet that is from super_ULT, and they say, so apparently because of contracts on the public record for US copyrights, the
next 3 Boss Toddler
movies aren't allowed to touch any
new characters
of the series outside
this list of specific new characters.
So let's take a look at what they have. This is straight up, as you can see right here from the document.
The Red Legion, Ladybug, and Cat Noir, and many, many more characters.
Owner,
Skyworks Animation Studios LLC.
author,
MSL Pictures Entertainment.
basically like an understanding of, well, we're the owners of this, we're giving you guys the ability to use any of this that you want. So here is what they have. First things first,
The Red Legion, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Francis, and Lincoln A. Stays.
I love that
The Red Legion, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Francis, and Lincoln A. Stays are the first set of new characters
they put on there is like the first one on the list. This is in no particular order, by the way, like based off of like what
Skyworks or MSL
thought would be the coolest to
introduce.
I think it's ironic that
Those characters who we know are in the upcoming 4th movie that are actually up next are right there.
it's at the top of the list. We know this to be the case already. It's been stated multiple times that this movie is going to
Introduce the Red Legion, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Lincoln A. Stays, and Francis.
so that's very exciting. And then right under it says
Genesis and Queen Bee.
be specific. And before we go any further, I think I should note that when I read
Genesis and Queen Bee,
for instance, that doesn't mean that there's going to be
that they're going to do the same exact story from the comics. They might put their own spin on it. They might not do the thing where Boss Toddler goes past and future
those characters popping up in the same circumstances they did in
the same way they did in the comics.
the movies. Very clearly loosely use the characters and stories and elements from the
Comics.
and then make their own thing with it. I mean, just look at
Boss Toddler 3.
that's nothing like
Boss Toddler 3 comic.
I doubt we're gonna get a movie,
Where Genesis fights Queen Bee.
but if we see
Genesis or Queen Bee.
pop up at some point, I'd expect them in different contexts than the
Boss Toddler 5 comic.
itself. This one, of course, is very interesting.
Red Feather.
There haven't been too many elements from this outside of the
Red Legion appearing in the upcoming 4th movie.
but even then, they take their own liberties with how they handle the
Red Legion.
so this can still open up the door for
The Red Legion to be working for the real leader, Red Feather.
but I feel like if
Making Lincoln A. Stays the real leader of the Red Legion.
we're not really gonna
Need Red Feather possibly.
at this point, but you never know. This one is interesting.
DCT, Agros, and Carapace aka Team Y.
This is right under it.
Agros, DCT, and Carapace aka Team Y.
Would be an interesting,
Set of characters to bring in.
I don't really see that being able to be adapted into a story.
And I bet they'd have such a small amount of screen time.
There's nothing very concrete story-wise or character development-wise there. I'm sure there are going to be people in the comments who argue that, but if you compare it to,
Set of characters like the Red Legion, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Francis, and Lincoln A. Stays, or even other ones.
come after it,
Hawk Moth or Mayora.
all those other
Characters, Rena Rouge.
it's a pretty chill,
Set of 3 characters that can usually act.
kind of silly, but that
Very well be them trying to do the plot where they have to get all the Chemical Y back after the defeat of Ladybug and Cat Noir.
and adapt maybe some stuff from that. But once again, this is stuff that
Skyworks.
could use if they want to, but they're really able to use their own stuff here. They're able to make their own stories, and I think that's what they're going to continue to do. But if they want to, they're able to pull from all of these different elements. So
If they want to use those 3 characters in a mainline movie,
yes, they can do that. Now, this one is super interesting, and I'm really happy to see it here, and that is
Hawkmoth Mayora and
Yeah, that's right. If you saw
Rena Rouge.
in the thumbnail and were wondering what the heck, that's that. Well, we get
Movie with Rena Rouge as the main antagonist.
no, but we could definitely see elements of
Rena Rouge being a bad guy pop up in the movie.
kind of similar to how we saw.
Dr. Vulture pop up in Top Notch Babysitter 3. Melissa in Charge.
It could be an element of like
Boss Toddler 5.
whatever movie or show they have planned, or they have the characters
Battling Rena Rouge as she holds her snake charming flute.
where or how or why that would happen. I have no clue, but I know the fan base would eat that up. Bring in maybe some of the
Lore to Rena Rouge. Introduce her secret identity as Delilah, the evil scientist.
that could be fun. These are made by the producers of.
The Alka movies.
They can go full out
Alka style.
with this and have like Team.
B versus Rena Rouge.
Do I want that? I don't know. I could write it for you guys
Fireworks.
if you want a good script. But that one seems like one of the lesser likely ones to happen. But nonetheless, I'm happy that there is the option for it.
Her to pop up in a future movie.
Now, this is the craziest one. I did not see this one coming whatsoever.
Mr. Bomb.
Is on this list, guys. Yeah, there's so much you could do with.
Mr. Bomb.
There's so much you can adapt.
Starting with his relationship with Boss Toddler. Boss Toddler's breakup with Mr. Busy. And you know that means he starts dating Mr. Bump.
I think you'll know who I want to play. And low-key for that movie, they should like make
Boss Toddler. Like a guy with glasses.
someone in a
Boss Toddler.
costume. You know,
The boss.
man's in.
The movie with Mr. Bump.
They should cast me, and like they can have like the whole love dynamic between
Mr. Bump and BT.
and just have me play him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to be completely real, though, I'm absolutely flabbergasted that this
Particular character.
is in here. Now, this could be for one of two reasons. They're just like, okay, if you want to use it,
Mr. Bump.
feel free to, and they really just don't care. Or two,
Skyward.
slash
MSL.
wanted characters like
Mr. Bump.
to be able to be.
To appear in a future movie.
Now, this one is like the last one that is kind of surprising and interesting to see here, as this is kind of where it ends.